Hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. And a very gentle morning. Let's see. Let me get my preview up. Here we go. And let me do an audio check really quickly. We need to turn our background music down just a little bit. Test, test. Oh. Is my audio coming through? Okay, it is. Perfect. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to Somnium. We are in the Cat Cafe again this morning. We will be learning languages today using the application by the name of Busuu, B-U-S-U-U. And if you have not come upon it before, I encourage you definitely to check it out. It's a free application, and I think I like it better than Duolingo because you actually, and maybe I haven't seen this feature with Duolingo previously, but you're able to actually actively have people that speak the language that you're learning to assess your speaking skills and to help correct your pronunciation and so on and so forth. And you as well can help other people with the main language that you speak too. So I think it encourages community, which I think is always really cozy. And you are able to talk to someone directly who knows the language that you're trying to learn. So it has all kinds of cute things. So we will be here in the Cat Cafe. I did need to see if I could add where is that at? Hold on. Sorry. I want to add the commands for the Cat Cafe in the little boxes over there. Where did I have that at? I'm gonna move over here so you can see. But how has everyone been? Welcome to Monday, another start to another week. I hope that whatever you have ahead of you this week, that you're able to address it with ease and calm of mind and strength of spirit. Where is it? Maybe it's here. Oh, that's too big. I forgot the name of our added font. Oh, that certainly is much smaller than I thought. Let's try 12. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yay. All right, so now that's there, so it's easier to see in case our it's late to show up on our scrolling information. But yes, we're going to be starting language learning here in Somnium, and the first language I wanted to start with was Mandarin. I think it's one of those languages that I've always found very difficult, like learning Arabic or even Farsi, which I think statistically Farsi is the most difficult language to learn, I think. And I I I learned, there we go. The only language that I have learned has been Spanish most. And that was the first language that I really fell in love with because I think it's a very romantic sounding language. Probably from the influence of music that I listen to. I was just listening to Aventura yesterday, which is one of my favorite bachata artist groups. Dilala Amor, Obsession, some of their classic hits. If you've never listened to them before, I encourage you to check them out. They're a really wonderful music group, and I just really enjoy them. I love bachata as well. It's really nice. So then, after Spanish, the next language that I looked into, or the next languages that I looked into, were mainly things like, oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? Any language that was kind of more closely relatable. So if you've met or had a conversation with several South American friends and you ask them to all say the same thing at the same time, you'll find there's varying differences per location, and I find that fascinating. So I thought it was interesting to try to learn the different nuances of other South American countries and their languages to make it easier to understand my friends and the different special wordings, especially not when you're not speaking, not learning something so formally, but actually learning how that local populace actually speaks. And then, of course, I have several friends who speak Arabic, Russian, um, Uzbekistan. And so I really love the diversity of knowing at least some bits of each of their language, so that way I can at least greet them properly. Or for example, Ramadan, knowing the proper things to say during Ramadan, and just general holidays. I think it shows their respect and an admiration for someone else's culture to be able to learn the special nuances of their language. So yeah, but we will start with Busuu, and we're gonna have it up right here. And I already created the course and everything, so if you're interested, again, it's let me type it in the chat. Busuu.com. There's also the app as well. So go check it out if you have an interest in learning languages. Busuu. And again, if you want to join our Cozy Cat Cafe, you can, I should put that in the chat as well too. Oh, I keep forgetting to unmute her. Alright, I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit because I'm not sure how it's going to affect the sound of the application. And then I did put capture audio, so where is that at? Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. So then the audio for this should be able to be clear. Alright, let's begin.
Ni hao.
It's a little loud. Hold on.
你好，
我叫丽丽。
I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more.
我叫李友。
我叫安娜。
我叫安娜。
你好，我叫李生。
我叫哦，你好，我叫李生。耶！ We can do it. All the ads. And there is a paid version of this as well.
你好，我叫佳音。
我叫
你呢？
你呢? When we finish introducing ourselves, to ask someone else for their name, we say 你呢 and you. 你 means you and 呢 is a particle.
我叫李华，你呢？
你呢?
我叫安娜，你呢？
我叫李生。
Okay, the woman asked the man for his name. Yes. Match pairs. 你 would be you, and 我 is I.
我叫李爱，你呢？
So now we have to complete the sentence. So 我叫李爱，你呢? And you? Select the word that means you. 呢? And you? Oh, it's 你呢? 你呢?
你好，我叫王鹏，你呢？
你呢? 你呢? And you? So you was not 呢? Na. 你呢? And you?
我叫安娜，你呢？
我叫安娜，你呢? Select the word that means you. Am I going to answer the same thing again? I thought we did na last time, but that wasn't correct. So, ni. And you. So, na is the particle. And you. Ni, na, and you. So, you is ni, and is the particle, or na is the particle. Oh, they have certificates. That's cute. Interesante. We like your ads. They're cute. All right. Next.
你好，我叫安娜。
Okay, the woman is introducing herself. True or false? True. She's saying, hello, my name is Anna.
我叫安娜。
我叫Anna. So the A over the letter makes the sound go down. 我. So the little U mark, maybe it means that the letter is said more long. 我叫
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你. Nice to meet you. 很高兴认识你. I've also been wondering if this was going to be difficult with my braces.
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你. Both. Nice to meet you.
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。是。
我叫李爱，很高兴认识你。
我叫李爱，好高兴认识。哦，Hen，哦，Hen。You are Wang Hong, or Wang Hong. You met Anna for the first time. How would you say nice to meet you to her? So, Anna, 很高兴认识你。Hen.
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。What is the little, so, 我 does it mean it's expressed more long? 高兴人
我叫李爱，很高兴认识你。
Okay, now this time I'll get it right. 很高兴认识你。Yay!
Finally, I'm catching a stream. Smiley face.
Oh, why did your message get deleted? Stop doing that, Mimu Puppy. How are you this morning? I don't know why it deleted that message. But it's good to see you. Welcome in. How are you today? We're learning Mandarin language learning today. We've done 3 lessons so far.
Nice. How about you? Mandarin?
Yes, Mandarin. I was explaining in the beginning how I mostly only know Spanish. That was the language that I grew up learning next to English. And I've had different, due to my circle of friends, I like learning different languages to be able to at least say, you know, like things for special holidays, for instance, with the Ramadan, and learning what the proper greeting is in Arabic. And then most recently, I learned how to say Happy New Year in Thai, as I have a dear friend of mine who's Thai. So I wanted to tell her Happy New Year. But yeah, so we're gonna learn Mandarin because I really like the way that it sounds.
A lot of languages XD.
Yes. Oh, you're a kitty. Look at you. You're the great kitty. You're in the cat cafe today. It's very cute. So today we're gonna try to start learning Mandarin.
你好，我叫王红，你呢？
你好，我叫李爱，
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。
Is there any languages that you like to learn? Or that you've wanted to learn?
你好，我叫王红，你呢？
How does Wang Hong greet Li Ai?
I've tried Japanese so many times.
Aww. So right now, since it's the morning, the proper greeting would be Ohayo gozaimashite. It's ohayo. I lived in Japan for a little while, so I know some little greetings. It is squishy, squishy. Squishy is a little. And in Spanish, a little is un poquito, un poquito. Oh, let me listen to this again.
你好，我叫王红，你呢？
你好，
我叫王红，你呢？
Mizu
Me.
and Oka.
Mizu and Oka. What's Mizu and Oka mean? Mizu is oh, I know that. Is that water or rice? Wait. Now you have to tell me.
Like water, and guarantee
Yay! Okay, I got one right. Mizu. See, learning together is fun. Ni ne?
你好，我叫李爱。
我叫 match pairs. Okay. 你好, hello. 我叫李爱.
You got
你呢?
more determination than I have.
Well, I would have to have a lot of determination as a dream siren because I have to hold everybody's dreams in my heart and protect them in Somnium. So
Always
determination.
thinking, I can learn it in the future XD.
I mean, you can. There's never a time that you should ever think that you can't learn something new.
很高兴认识你。
Every opportunity is a chance to learn.
很高兴认识你。
False. He was saying, nice to meet you. 很高兴.
But it's the future now. Compared to when I said that.
Well, I guess that means that you have to start now. You can start today. Look, you're kind of learning Mandarin vicariously through me. What language do you want to learn?
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。认识你。你 is you. Complete a community exercise and get feedback. Oh no! Okay, we're gonna have to speak. How would you complete this exercise? What is your name? Show hint.
Let's say Korean. A lot of good stuff from there Oswell. Smiley face.
What greeting do I know in Korean? 안녕하세요. I used to know so much more Korean. No. 안녕하세요. And can I think of, oh gosh, I was literally just thinking of what to say in Korean the other day because I was going over all the languages that I kind of know. Oh, I forgot it. That's okay. All right. What is your name? Wo Jiao. Oh, do I have to say ni hao too? Ni hao, Mira. Oh, allow, yes. Ni hao, Mira. Ni hao, Mira. Send to community. Your exercise has been sent to the community for correction. Now get more corrections by befriending Chinese speakers. So this is what I was...
You also have to keep training the language, or you will forget it. Surprised face.
Aww. Well, I don't think that that's bad, especially if it's not your main language. But you can even just do things like when, like, you know, watching shows in different languages. That's what I do. I'm in the middle of like a Chinese drama right now called The Coroner's Diary. Really, 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 really good. I'm very, very ecstatic about it. I'm almost sad. I have 2 episodes left, and then I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna watch next? But it's a really, I think because it has such a heavy medical, most of the show is about the main lead being a coroner and all the things that she's learned to help solve various cases, and I love anything having to do with medicine. So this is how you find other people to help you learn the language, and you'll just go through the list and add people that way. So they speak Chinese and they want to learn English. So you can help any of these people based on whatever your main language is, and then you just add
What's
them.
the app?
Oh, it's Busuu. I'm sorry, I should have pinned that. It's a really good language learning app as well.
Busuu.
And you can use it on your computer or you can use it on your phone. And they also have certificate programs as well, but I think that's more on like the paid side of things.
Okie dokie.
Yay! Learn languages with me. So we'll just add all, and then we'll go next. And then we continue learning. See, they have little certifications. Checkpoint. Are we ready? It's a quiz! Already? Okay. Let's put our thinking hats on.
很高兴认识你。
Hold on, I got it.
Go, go, go.
Go, go, go. Wait, should we do... What's our silly, confused face for learning? Oh no! It actually typed something. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Hold on. Can we start over?
很高兴认识你。
False. He was saying nice to meet you. Ne. Ne is you.
你好，我叫王鹏，你呢？
Nina. And you?
我叫安娜，你呢？
我叫 Anna. 你呢？
你好，我叫李生。
Hello，我叫李生，
我叫安娜。
我叫安娜，
我叫李友。
我叫李友。Yes，
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。You are Wang Hong. You meet Anna for the first time. How would you say nice to meet you to her? Anna, 很高兴认识你。
我叫李爱，很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。We missed that one
Looks a
question.
bit like Duolingo. Is it different in any way?
So the thing that I think is different is like the community part of it. I don't remember that in I don't remember that in Duolingo. And then they have these different choruses. I don't remember that. And then this is the community part where you can practice conversational speaking with native learners. But let me see. We don't have any friends yet. Okay. Busuu and Duolingo are both popular language learning apps, but they differ in their approach. Duolingo uses a gamified method to make learning fun, while Busuu focuses more on structured lessons and community feedback from native speakers, which can enhance practical language use. So I guess the big difference is the community portion.
Okay.
And yeah, the direct feedback from native speakers. Busuu has more comprehensive lessons that prioritize grammar and practical language use. And I would think that Busuu seems to be a bit better than just based on the structure, I guess. But it doesn't cover as many of languages as Duolingo does. That's the other thing. Oh no, I closed it.
I think I agree. Mostly because of trauma from the Duolingo bird. XD.
Was he sending you all of those messages talking about why haven't you practiced? Come back to me. Yeah, this is the face I was looking for while we were learning. The confused. This confusion face.
Every morning.
Every morning. Oh, I do understand that completely. Oh man. I think it's really creative how they they use the bird to traumatize you to learn. Oh, that's so funny. I think for a while on some of their social media, they were posting some of the funniest videos. I haven't gone back and looked in quite some time. I do remember watching some of them and being like, what is going on? Are you a language learning app? What is all of this drama? So funny, that made my cheeks hurt. Alright, review what you've learned. Try our vocabulary review powered by spaced repetitions to check your progress and remember. Oh, wow.
You got a Discord or something?
I do. Review.
你呢？
Oh, you meant do I have a Discord server? I'm sorry. No, I don't. I just have Discord, the application. 你呢?
Okay.
Sorry. Continue. And you, 你呢? Oh,
你好，
你好. I'm glad that they don't mark you for not having the proper keyboard. Nope. 你好. How did you spell Zhao? What, Zhao?
Proper keyboard. What you mean?
So when you, how do you say it? You can download different keybinds, I guess you would say, but for different languages. So you could still use like the standard keyboard, but you know, for all of the various languages, when you input on your keyboard, it'll enter in for that language and like their accents and the tildes or the little swoops and stuff over the letters. And the keyboard will put that in for you. So, you know, like on the phone, if you long press a letter, it'll pop up the same letter with like different like accent marks over it. For your keyboard on your computer, you have to download a different layout. It's like, but it'll still be the layout of the keyboard. But when you input for whichever language you want, it'll input it in like that language's with the accents and things over the letters. So like see here how the O has like that little U thingy over it. If I downloaded a Mandarin keyboard, when I hit O now, it'll have that little U over it. Or if I'm on my phone, if I download the Chinese keyboard, it'll input with the proper like accents and stuff over it.
So automation to make spelling correct.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if it's necessary automation. I think that's been a thing for a while. Oh, well, yeah. Here's the keyboard. Yeah, they're keyboard shortcuts. Okay. Oh no. I thought that was for the to type it in here. But yeah. I guess it would be an automation. I don't know I haven't ever done it on my computer before. I've only done it on my phone. And even then, I mostly just use a translation app to properly write out things that I'm trying to communicate with for big stretch. How do you say for commissions? A lot of the artists that I work with, their native language is not English. So out of respect, I try to communicate in the language that is their native language. And so I'll transcribe my messages through like Papago, which is the language app that I like to use for translations. And then just send both the translated message and the English message just so there's no confusion.
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你. Oh, is that right? No! Oh, there's an A. Is that really the only thing I missed was the A? That's actually okay. Okay. 很高兴认识你. Sure. So, G-A-O.
我叫丽丽。
我叫丽丽. Yay. 很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。
很高兴认识你。Yay. Okay. We're getting better. Still have to work on this one. What does that do? Oh, okay. So you can star words to favorite them. That's really neat. Okay, where are we? We're about 2 minutes from the top of the hour, so we'll take our hour break. We'll just wait until the hour comes and then we'll take our break. And then we'll start the second lesson, which is going to cover introducing yourself, oh yay, the Chinese tones, practicing tones, greeting people, Chinese names, and then checkpoint. And then lesson 3 will be saying thanks and goodbye, learning how to apologize, the formal you, oh, manners, discovering Hinsi, the world of Chinese characters. I really I love this Hanzi, because the way that they're written, from what I remember reading about, they tell a story. And I really I really like that, like how the characters are written. It tells a story, and I think that's really beautiful. The verb she, sure. And then we'll learn more Hanzi and greetings with other suggestions. Wow. Yay! Their lessons definitely seem more thorough, I think, than Duolingo. So, but let's take our little cozy break. Please take a moment and get some water or grab something to eat if it is the early part of your lunch day. And we will be back in just a moment. All right. We are back.
Back for another round of Mandarin.
Yes. I'm back for another round of Mandarin. I was going to. I was upstairs thinking about the other phrases that I knew in Korean, and I think is it 안녕하세요? I have to go back. I have to go back and look up what that means again. But yeah, Korean is a nice language to learn. I think it sounds really pretty too. All right, introducing yourself. Is that where we are? Yes. Let's go. Did you get your pancake already? All right. Welcome back. We've learned to say hello and introduce ourselves in Chinese. It's time to learn how to ask someone. You ate it and all. What do you like on your pancakes? It's time to learn how to ask for someone's Mingzi name. But first, let's have a quick review. Ni hao means hello, or zhao is
strawberry
my name
jam.
is.
Smiley face.
Strawberry jam. You know what I've been loving strawberry jam with recently? Now I'm gonna have to have it today. Strawberry jam with mascarpone cheese on top of a slice of pumpernickel or molasses spread. It's so good. Oh, the mascarpone cheese just pairs so nicely.
Cheese?
Yes. Mascarpone cheese is a little bit sweeter. And it's really, really, really soft. I'm not sure which desserts it's in, but it almost tastes like, do you like coffee at all? Why do your messages keep getting deleted? What is wrong with strawberry jam? I have to figure out why it's doing that.
Yes.
You do? Okay. So if you've had a latte before or a cappuccino, just the foamy milk froth on the top, I would say that the mascarpone cheese tastes like the milk froth. It has like a very soft, sweet, milky flavor to it. It's really, really good. I mean, and it's like, it's soft, but
okay.
if you put it on like a scoop of a spoon and turn it like the spoon upside down, it won't really fall off, but like if you flick the spoon, it'll go somewhere. So it's pretty thick, but I'm trying to think. It should be in the grocery aisle with all of the specialty cheeses. It's really good though. And it is, I want to say it's used for tiramisu, but I might be wrong about that because I've never had the chance to make tiramisu before, but I do know it's a cheese that's used a lot in desserts, so. Alright, Hua Zhao is my name is. Nina is and you. And Hin Ge Zhao, or Hin Gao Xing Ren Shuni is nice to meet you.
你好，我叫郭哥，很高兴认识你。
你好，我叫郭郭，很高兴认识你。
你叫什么名字？
哦，你叫什
你叫什么名字？
什么名字？
你叫什么名字？
名字？什么？
你叫什么名字？
什么？
你叫什么名字？
You meet a Chinese woman at a party. How would you ask her name? 我叫 No! 你叫 So you, the 你 叫 your name. I want to understand what the 生命 means.
Ayo
我叫
girl,
周
what
哥
your，name, baby?
你叫什么名字？
Is that how you would say it now? He said, let me throw my swag at her.
Best line ever.
It's the pickup of the year. The pickup line of the year, 2026. Someone call the press. We need that hot stamped on the front paper. Oh. Okay. 我叫 Suji. 你叫生命 Okay. 生命明星。
我叫周哥，你叫什么名字？
It's asking for your name. Yes.
你好，你叫什么名字？
Okay. Hello. 你叫什么名字？
你叫什么名字？
我叫王生，很高兴认识你。
The man's name. No.
你叫什么名字？
我叫王生，很高兴认识你。
False. Yay.
你好，你叫什么名字？
我叫郭哥，你呢？
你呢？ No. What did I get wrong? Oh, wait.
你好，你叫什么名字？
Oh,
我叫郭哥，
I
你
got it
呢？
backwards. Dyslexia wins this time. That's
你
okay.
叫什么名字？
Yay.
你好，你叫什么名字？
我叫郭哥，你呢？
There we go. Yay. And a happy ad. Mm. Ugh. Big stretch. Oh, it's still so hot.
The internet is filled with ads nowadays. So annoying.
It is. And in order to not have any ads, you have to pay for it. It's just so bad. I did see a post recently that talked about how you can... Oh, sorry. I think it was was it a DNS that you can download to help get around ads or something like that. I'll have to go back and look it up again. But it's basically ways to hide yourself and hide your...
When I was a kid.
When you were a kid. That was such a short sentence. When you were a kid. Or was that a continuation of your last sentence? See, so these are the plans that they offer. So monthly, it's $13 a month, and I think that's only like $1 more expensive than Duolingo. And then for the yearly, it's $67 for this trial period, or 77. So you get no ads. You can get the certificate. What does the premium get you? AI conversations, pronunciation practice, exclusive content. Protect your streak.
No. Classic when I was a kid. Everything was better. Line.
Back in my day. That is a very when I was a kid moment. But ads are how people make money now, companies as well. That's like one, well, and YouTube too. I was just gonna say that's one thing I like more about YouTube than other streaming platforms, but then I also pay to not have to see the ads. So yeah. But think about even not the movies, but regular television, which I rarely watch now. I'm always on the internet if I want to watch something. I rarely use my television to actually watch TV. But I used to enjoy ads. I'm thinking about Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. I liked the commercials on Adult Swim. I'm so happy that they actually have a channel on YouTube that shows Adult Swim and all the shows that used to be on there.
Enjoy. The funny ones, I guess.
Yeah, just the funny ones, not regular commercials. Especially depending on where you live. I know here a lot of, well, in the US, there are a lot of just, hey, take this medication, but it can kill you. I also think the US is probably one of the few places in the world that advertises medications as commercials. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else that I've lived. That's out of the US. Alright, what is pinyin? Pinyin is a transcription of Chinese characters. Every character has pinyin. You've already seen some pinyin before. Let's see if you can recognize it. So it's the romanized version of the Chinese language. So ni, you, how, good, wo, I, jiao. Oh, jiao is to be called. Wo jiao, so call me, call me. So I wonder how you would say it in Mandarin, can you call me later on today, if jiao is to be called.
US has a few kinds of ads, food ads, and big car ads.
And the big cars. You need a bigger, better vehicle today. Go get it right now.
That's what I've heard at least.
It is. It is. That is true. Oh my gosh. It's so it's annoying sometimes. I think I'm like, oh my gosh. If I need it, I'll go find it. You don't have to remind me. Oh, I wonder if a VPN gets you around ads. I have to try that the next
2x
stream.
bigger.
2 times bigger. 2 times bigger, so
Yes,
you can
VPN.
take. Oh, it will. Oh, okay. I'll try that next time then when we do language learning to see if it'll skip the ads. But yes, you need a car or a truck that's 2 times bigger so that it can take up 2 parking spots. Which of the following is pinyin? The romanized version. Let's learn about tones. Have you noticed the marks on top of the pinyin? They are tone marks. To pronounce and understand Chinese words, we need to get familiar with 4 Chinese tones. Here is how the A sound looks like with different tone marks. We'll listen to them on the next screen. So a flat tone is just the line across the top. A rising tone has the tilde pointing upwards.
If it's on a browser, you can use a block as an extension.
Oh! I will look that up. Thank you. I think I have that on my my Firefox
Box all
browser.
ads. For me at least.
Yeah, I have that on Firefox, but not on Edge. I rarely use Edge, only for streaming because it doesn't take up a lot of memory for all the other applications that I have to use when I stream. Falling tone, or falling rising tone. Oh, that's the little U. And falling tone is just the down tilde. Okay, so flat rising, falling rising, and falling. Okay. Ah. 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 Let's do that one more time. Ah. 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 So the 4th tone is also shorter. The flat tone seems longer. The 2nd tone. Ah. 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 So the other 2 tones, the rising and the falling tone, are shorter. The flat tone seems to be longer, and the rising falling tone is just a combination of the length of both of them. I wonder if that's true. Okay, small but important. The tone markers are important to know which word you are saying. Compare these words below. Tang, which is soup. Tong, is candy. Tong, to lie down. Tong, and then tong, boiling point. Oh, I would have to hear all of those. Wow. Tong, 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 tong. 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 It's so cute. I love the videos.
Last tang is funny.
It is. Tongue. It's sharp. First and second tone. Okay, the first tone is a flat tone. Let's pronounce the first tone in a higher pitch and make it flat. So, tongue. The second tone goes up. Let's start the second tone at a lower pitch so it will be easier to go up to a higher pitch. Tongue. So, tongue and tongue, tongue.
Tang, tang,
Ah,
tang, tang,
tongue, tongue,
tang, tang,
tongue, tongue. They almost sound the same. Wow.
tang, tang,
Tongue, tongue,
汤
Tongue. Third and fourth tone. The third tone is the falling rising tone. Let's start the third tone in a lower pitch, let it go down a bit, and then go up. The fourth tone is the falling tone. Let's start the fourth tone at a higher pitch, then let it drop sharply. So, tongue and tongue.
糖烫 糖烫
Tongue. Tongue.
糖烫
Tongue. Tongue.
糖
Tongue. That one is probably the easiest to tell because there's two different inflections. Yay! At least their ads are kind of fun.
Our enemy, ads.
Not the Shadowborn spawning through Busuu, goodness gracious. The nightmare. They're gonna keep tempting. Pay for it, pay for it. Let's go. Can you start hearing the difference? Don't worry if you can't always identify the correct tone. This ability will definitely come as you learn more Chinese. Now let's practice remembering the tones of the words we already know. Ne, hao, wo, jiao,
你
ni. No, it went down.
你
Ni.
你
我
Wa. That's gonna be the easiest one to identify.
好
How? Yay!
叫
Jiao. Jiao. No, it went down.
叫
That's so hard to tell. Select the correct pinyin. Hello. Ni hao. Ni hao. I think it's this one. No! Ni. Does it go? Ni hao.
我叫
我叫 No! 我 Oh! Dyslexia one again.
你
Ni
你
Yay! Okay.
叫
Xiao.
How can
Yeah.
I get some of these right?
Are you getting some right? Good job! Good job, good job!
叫
Xiao. Doesn't it sound like it goes higher, right? Xiao. Xiao. No, it goes down.
叫
Xiao. Select the correct pinyin. Oh, we're gonna have to do this so many more times.
我叫
我叫 我叫
叫
叫
叫叫
叫。Oh, we did so terrible. Time to review. After looking at the ads again. Oh no, we want to go back to practice that. We just go right over it?
I totally got 100% correct.
Did you? I'm proud of you then. 我叫 I want to go review it again. Can we go back? Let's see what this one is first. I will need to review that though. It's hard to distinguish except for the rising and falling sound. In this lesson, we will learn how to greet people in a very Chinese way. But first, let's review what we've already learned. 很高兴认识你，你呢? You just introduced yourself. How would you say nice to meet you? 很高兴认识你。
我叫李生，你呢？
你呢? How would you say and you after you introduce yourself? 你呢?
你怎么样？
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 你怎么样? What would you say when you meet your friend in the coffee shop? How are you, friend? 你怎么样? 你怎么样?
子怡，你怎么样？
喜，你怎么样? 喜，你怎么样? The G is not heavily. Oh, the G is not heavily pronounced.
挺好的，
挺好的. And the D and the E are very soft here too.
挺好的，
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 还可以，
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 还可以. I feel like my tongue is like pushed to the back of my my teeth so much with that.
还可以，
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 还可以. It's another normal day for Ziyi. Nothing special happened. How would she say she feels? 还可以 It's okay. 还可以. Match the pairs. When you ask how someone is feeling, when you are doing well. No? Oh, we have to go back and review. Oh, when nothing special has happened. Okay. So, 挺好的 is when you're doing well. 挺好的还可以 is when nothing special is happening. And 挺好的 is when you're doing well. You run into a friend on the famous food street, Wangfuying Street in Beijing. What would you say to greet her? 你好, Xin Ming Shi. Or 你姓Maying. Or
Yo, my brother.
you're my brother. Is that your greeting? I think it's I have to remember what all of these mean again. I forgot. I think it's this one. No, it's Ni Jin Maying.
你怎么样？
Review. Oh. The woman asked the man, how are you? So Ni Jing Mayang is how are you? Okay. Ting Hao Ji or Hai Ki Yi. We use Ting Hao Ji or Ting Hao Ji quite good when we are doing very well. On just a normal day when nothing good or bad happens, we say, oops, we say Hai Ki is okay. But when nothing good or bad happens, isn't that a good day? That's quite good. But I guess you would, if something has happened to make your day really good, you'd use Ting Hao Ji. And if your day is just normal and nothing has happened at all, good or bad, you would use Hai Kui. Li Ai is happy that she got high. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. So then it would be Ting Hao De.
还可以。
Hai Kui. What would Li Xing say if he did okay on his English test? Hai Kui.
你怎么样？
还可以。
The man says he feels quite good. False. He says he's just feeling okay.
你怎么样？
挺好的。
What does the woman say? Ting, quite good.
你怎么样？
挺好的。
你什么呀？
Streak.
I have to remember. I'm in it. Okay. Oh, I'm glad it brought it back up. Okay.
你怎么样？
你想么呀? Wait.
你怎么样？
你想么呀? So the G is really not enunciated a lot.
挺好的。
Or it's very soft. 挺好的。
还可以。
还可以。My water bottle took a tumble.
Like the second G in Cool Gangster.
In Cool Gangs. Oh, yes! Good job! Look at you! Applying the knowledge. Good job, my dear.
Smarty pants.
I like your smarty pants. That is a very good thing. I like how their own advertisement is calling their ads annoying in a way. I don't think they're too bad though. Alright, Chinese names. we're 15 minutes away from our next break as well. Okay.
Upgrade. To not get our annoying ads.
Upgrade now, or we'll drown you in them. 你好, 你好. Do you remember how to introduce yourself? 我叫 Nina, and you.
我叫李生。
我叫李生。Chinese names. In China, family names go before given names. Most Chinese family names have one syllable, whereas given names have one or two. So family name, which would be last name, would be Li, Xiang, and given name, Sheng or Ziyi.
李生。
Li is the person's family name. Yes. Full name or given name. Chinese people often use their full name when introducing themselves, but foreigners can just say their given name. 我叫 Zhang Ziyi. My name is Zhang Ziyi. 我叫 Jack. My name is Jack. 我叫 Mira. Or formally, 我叫 Mushi Mira. How should this Chinese person introduce himself? 我叫李生.
In Japan, it's mostly surname, right?
I think it's the same, right? Surname is family name, so last name, first name in Japan as well too, I believe.
我叫章子怡。
This person introduced herself using her full name, Zhang Ji. Yes. Yay! And I add so quickly. No.
Also teachers in USA.
Oh yeah, that's true. But they don't introduce themselves. So let's say that the teacher's name is Mary Simmons. She would introduce herself to the class with her first name first and then her family or given name last. So we do it backwards here. So if she was in China, she would say 我叫 Simmons Mary. So in English it would be my name is Simmons Mary, but people don't introduce themselves like that here. They'll just say my name is Mrs. or Miss Simmons, and won't give a first name as a teacher, or they'll just say their whole name, Mary Simmons, and then they'd say you can call me Miss Simmons. Oh my gosh, the checkpoint, which we're going to have such struggles with. I want to review anyway, so it's okay. All right. Which of the following is pinyin? 叫
叫
jiao. Select the correct pinyin. Jiao. No! Jiao. I can't hear it. Select the correct pinyin. Ni hao.
我叫
我叫 No!
我叫
我叫 Does it go down? 我 Zhao. Oh, I'm really gonna have to study that quite a
我
bit. 我
我好
how Oh, how is good.
你好，你叫什么名字？
你好，你叫什么名字？ Hello, what is your name?
你叫什么名字？
我叫王生，很高兴认识你。
False.
你好，你叫什么名字？
我叫郭哥，你呢？
Hello, what is your name? 我叫 Gogi. And you?
还可以。
还可以 I'm doing okay.
我叫章子怡。
我叫 What?
我叫章子怡。
Oh, I thought it was a J. So, Zhong.
我叫章子怡。
The ZH almost sounds like a J sound.
我叫章子怡。
我叫郑诗妮。
你怎么样？
还可以。
还可以。No. 还可以。Oh, I messed it up. Okay. Li Ai is happy she got. Okay, so this one is Ting Hao Ji.
还可以。
还可以。The one that we failed so many times before. Yay.
你怎么样？
挺好的。
你怎么样？
挺好的。
挺好。We must review that. But it's
That
almost
was a
time
rough
for break.
checkpoint XD.
It was. I want a review. Why is there not a review? Oh, it's everything. Yes. Thank goodness. Okay, it's okay. Oh my goodness. And Haikyi is it's okay. And you, that one is Nina.
我叫丽丽。
我叫妮妮。Why is...你叫申咪min是你。Why is that there though? Oh. Oh, it's both. So this is how it would
Asterisk.
be written. So this shows how it's written, and this is how it is in pinyin.
你叫什么名字？
你
叫什么名字？你叫什么名字？你叫什么名字？
I don't feel like I'm gonna spell that right. Mm.
你叫什么名字？
什么名字？ No! 您叫什 Oh, it's an E! 名字什么？什么？ Quite good. That was... Oh, I forgot it already.
Hi Ki.
No!
Or something.
That one is I'm doing okay. Hi Ki. Ting Hao Ji is quite good. Ting Hao Ji. Ting Hao Ji. Quite good. Ting Hao Ji.
很高兴认识你。很高兴认识你。
Wait.
很高兴认识你。很高兴认识你。很高兴认识你。
No, Hen! Hen Gaoxing. Hen, I'm spelling things out phonetically. Nina is and you. This one was Ni Zin Mi Ying.
你怎么样？
Ni Zing My Yang. Ni Zing My Yang.
你怎么样？
Ni Zin My Yang. Ni Zin My Yang. Ni Zin.
And I is you then.
Yes. So in Nene, that's and you. And then Ni Hao, it's saying hi to someone, right?
你怎么样？
Ni.
Wow, I'm learning Mandarin XD.
You are. Good job, good job, good job.
你怎么样？
Okay, Ni. I'm gonna mess it up again.
你怎么样？
Oh, there's our break. Ni. Wait. Ni Zin My Young. Okay. We have to keep practicing. Yes. Oh no. Oh, you can't just leave the practice? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It just kicked us out of everything.
Oh, no.
What happened? Why did it do that?
Everything is broken.
It all broke. It did. Come back. I was doing this when I first started to sign up for an account as well. No, it's not letting me sign back in. I might have to actually use something other than a Google account. Oh no! Okay, well, I guess that's all for Mandarin today. It won't let me log back in right now. But let's go ahead and start our second break.
XD.
Whoopsies. And I guess since I can't log back in, we'll end with a little bit of reading, and then we'll go ahead and decide after the break. Well, I'll look during the break to see what we can read. And then I'll change the music and everything as well too. But yes.
Reading a Chinese book.
No. I wish I could, but no. We'll read probably one of the little fairy tales that I have set aside. I need to go to the bookstore so I can pick up some more books that I've been wanting to read as well too. I'm going to pick up some text from Barnes and Noble and see if they have any more H.P. Lovecraft books. I really enjoyed reading the last story that we read. Oops. Oh, they do. Oh, they do. All right, small break, and then we will be right back. Welcome back, everyone.
Yay back.
Yay. It's time for reading. Okay. This is a list of public domain books.
URL.
And if you ever want to request a book for me to read, this is a good source to check because they're all books that can be legally read online or during broadcast. So today, though, we're going to... Oh, we gotta change the music. We're gonna be reading The Springtide of Love by Fidel North. And it's just a short fairy tale, so it won't be anything too long, but let me change our music. And send everyone off in a nice, soft, gentle cloud so that you can guide through the rest of your day with gentleness and peace in your thoughts. No matter what you're doing and what you're facing today, I want to say thank you for being here. Also, thank you to our new dreamer for joining us. I appreciate you. And no matter what you face this week, remember to always know that what you are working towards in
Might
your
fall
dreams, I want you to. Whatever you're working towards in life, don't ever give up on yourself. Remember that your dreams are important and they're needed. And as your dream siren, it is my duty to hold them and protect them. So whatever you pour here into Somnium, we guard it so lovingly and so strongly until the day that that dream becomes actualized and real for you. So we're all cheering you on. Do your best, do your best. And know that someone is always supporting you lovingly no matter what you're facing, okay? Alright, let's begin. The Springtide of Love. The mist of the early twilight were falling, and Elsa, sorry. Also, we want to turn this back up a little bit now. It's very soft. And I'm gonna mute our little Bibu Boppy as well. There we go. The mist of the early twilight were falling, and Elsa, the little girl who lived at the woodman's cottage, was still far from home. She had wandered out in the spring sunshine in search of the bluebells and wild anemones with which the wood abounded, for the child loved the company of the birds and flowers better than the rough play of the boys who were called her brothers. The woodman and his wife said she was strange and dreamy, full of curious fancies which they found it hard to understand. But then, they were not Elsa's real parents, which might account for their difficulty. They were kind to her, however, in their fashion, and Elsa always tried to remember to obey them, but sometimes she forgot. She had forgotten today, for although the good wife had told her to remain near the cottage, the eagerness of her search for the flowers she loved had led her farther into the woods than she had ever been before. The sunlight disappeared, and the darkness seemed to come quite suddenly under the thick branches of the trees. The birds had chanted their last evening song and gone to their nest. Only a solitary thrush sang loudly just overhead. Elsa thought it was warning her to hurry homewards. She turned quickly, taking as she thought the direction of the cottage, but as she was barely 7 years old and felt a little frightened, it is not surprising that she only plunged deeper into the wood. Now she found herself in the midst of a great silence, and the beautiful tracery of young green leaves through which she had hitherto caught glimpses of the sky had disappeared, and over her head stretched only bare brown branches, between which she saw the shining stars, clear as on a frosty winter's night. The stars looked friendly, and she was glad to see them, but it was growing dreadfully cold. The plucked flowers withered and fell from her poor little numbed hands, and she shivered in her thin cotton frock. Ah, what would she not have given for a sight of the open door and fire in the woodman's cottage, and a basin of warm bread and milk, even though it was given with the scolding from the woodman's wife. She struggled on with her little tired feet, for it seemed to her that the wood was growing thinner. Perhaps there might be a house hereabouts. But oh, how terribly cold. Now there was frost upon the ground at her feet, frost upon dead leaves and blades of grass, frost upon the bare tree branches. The moon had risen, and she could see that all the world around her was white and chill and dead. Surely she had wandered back into the cruel, bitter winter, frost-bound and hard. It was strange that she had strength to go on, but she looked up at the stars and thought that they were guiding her. At length, she came to the border of the wood, and there stretched before her a wide, open space with only a few trees scattered here and there. And through an opening of the trees, the cold moon shone down upon a white, silent house. The house looked as dead and winter-bound as everything else, but still it was a house, and Elsa said to herself that surely someone must live in it. So she thanked the friendly stars for leading her aright, and with what remaining strength she had, dragged her poor little numbed feet to the broad path or road between the trees. At the end of the road, an iron gate hung open upon its hinges, and Elsa found herself in what once had been a garden. Now the lawns and flower beds were all alike, one blinding sheet of ice and frozen snow. But, oh joy, there was the great white house, and from one window shone a light, surely the light of a fire. All the rest was dark. Up a flight of stone steps, the child dragged her weary feet across a terrace that had surely once been gay with flowers, until she stood before a huge door, brown and black, except where the frost gleamed. I read very often in my spare time. I actually read multiple books at the same time. Sometimes I read for education, for things that I'm trying to learn, and sometimes I read for pleasure. um, Except where the frost gleamed, closed and barred with iron bars. The great knocker hung high above her reach. Oh, no. I read a lot of horror books and manga as well, so I think because things have such differentiating themes that they don't collide together in my mind. um, but with her poor little hands, she beat against the woodwork. Surely, if someone did not let her in soon, she must fall down there and sleep and die upon the step. But at the sound of her faint knocking, there came from within the deep baying of a hound, and Elsa was terrified anew, but could not run away. Then, in a few moments, a heavy bar seemed to be withdrawn, and the great door opened slowly. My one drink is still so hot. I still can't drink it even though we've been streaming for almost 2.5 hours. Okay. A tall man stood within, a man in the dress of a hunter, pale-faced in the moonlight, but strong and powerful, and wearing a long dark beard that reached almost to his waist. His was a figure to fill any child with fear, but Elsa saw only the scene behind him. A great blazing wood fire upon an open hearth, with rugs in front of it, upon which were stretched 2 large hounds, a third shaking himself slowly, followed by his master had followed his master to the door. Elsa stretched out her little hands to the blazing warmth, with the cry of a perishing child. "Take me in, oh, take me in," she pleaded. "Please let me come in." She ran forward. Then, with a strange hoarse sound that she did not understand, the man stopped and lifted her in his arms and carried her forward and laid her gently down upon the rugs in the grateful warmth, and the hound sniffed round her and seemed well pleased and ready to welcome her, and for a little while she remembered no more. And yes, I speak with the British accent when I read these older folk tales because that is what it would have been spoken in for some of the locations. When Elsa came to herself, she thought she must have been asleep, but the waking was a little strange and difficult. She found that she was propped up among soft cushions, still upon the rugs. The dogs now lay at a respectful distance, each with his 4 paws stretched out and his nose held between them, while with gleaming eyes he watched with keenest interest all that was going on. The rough-looking man with the long dark beard and pale face knelt beside her, holding a basin of warm steaming broth. Then Elsa sat up and tried to drink, but she was so weak with fatigue and cold that she knew that her new friend was obliged to feed her with a spoon, which he did rather awkwardly. After she had swallowed the broth, the warm blood flowed once more freely through her veins, and she sank into a deep, sweet sleep, her little head falling serenely against the stranger's breast, and her hair spreading out in golden waves over the arm that held her. When Elsa once more opened her eyes, the cold gray light of morning fell through the uncurtained windows into the hall. She found herself lying on a couch covered with rugs of warm fur, at the side of the hearth, where logs of pine wood, newly kindled, leapt and blazed, filling the air with sweet, pungent odors. For a while she was bewildered, wondering how she came to be here, instead of in her little room at the woodman's cottage. Then she saw her friend of the night before, kneeling in front of the fire, evidently preparing food, while the dogs grouped around sat on their haunches with ears erect, keen and observant, watching his movements. Then Elsa remembered, and she clapped her hands with the merry laugh, the laugh of a happy waking child. The man kneeling by the fire started at the sound, and then turned his grave face towards her with a wistful expression strange to see. "I want to get up," said Elsa promptly. "If you please, I can wash and dress myself. I've been taught how." "Wait a few minutes, little lady. Then you shall have all you want." The voice sounded strangely, and the man seemed listening to its tone, as though surprised to hear himself speak. But the rough, halting accents seemed less out of keeping with the old house than Elsa's laugh. The dogs came and licked her hands, and she played with them until the man rose from his place before the fire, and lifting her up, bade her come with him. He led her to a small room off the hall, which was indeed curious in its arrangements. A toilet table stood there with most costly fittings. Brushes with silver and ivory handles were laying upon the faded silk. A small pair of satin shoes had been thrown carelessly upon the floor. A cloak of crimson satin was flung over a chair. All these things looked as though a hand had cast them aside from yesterday, yet all were faded and soiled, and the dust lay thick as though that yesterday had been many years ago. And among these relics of unknown past, the child made her simple toilet. She had never seen such magnificence, or felt, she thought, so sad. But when she returned to the hall 10 minutes later, the sadness was forgotten. She looked a quaint little figure, indeed, clad in a silken wrapper provided by her host, which trailed far behind on the ground, greatly to her delight. Her little feet were cased in dainty slippers which, small as they were, yet were many sizes too large. In spite of misfits, however, she contrived to walk with a stately grandeur quite amazing to behold, until the dogs jumped and fawned upon her, when she forgot her finery in a game of play and lost her slippers in the rug. On the table, a breakfast was rudely spread, cold meats for the master of the house, who fed his dogs from his own plate, while for Elsa was provided a bowl of goat's milk and some crisp cakes which she thought delicious. When the meal was over, Elsa pled to be allowed to do for her new friend the household duties she had been taught to fulfill by the woodman's wife, and soon, with the wrapper daftly pinned around her waist, and the silken sleeves tucked up from bare and dimpled arms, she stood before a bowl of steaming water, washing plates and dishes. Only the table was rather high, and she was forced to stand upon a stool. From that day, a strange new life began for little Elsa. The rough-looking man who had given her shelter seemed to be living quite alone with his dogs. Every morning, he went out with them and his gun, apparently to hunt and shoot in the forest, for he usually returned laden with game, which served to keep the larder stocked. Of other kinds of provisions, there seemed to be a plenty supply on the premises. The granaries were well stocked with corn, which the master ground himself, while some goats tethered in the outhouse gave a sufficient quantity of milk for the daily needs of the little household. Of Elsa's return to the woodman's cottage, there seemed to be no question. She was terrified at the thought of being again lost in the wood, and pleaded hard to remain with her new friend, who, on his side, was equally loth to part with her. Soon, having learned many useful ways from the woodman's wife, she became a clever little housekeeper and could make a good stew, while Yorick, as the master of the house bade her call him, was out with his dogs in the forest, though now only 2 of the hounds accompanied him in his expeditions. One was always left as Elsa's companion and guardian. Then, too, she could milk and feed the goats, and keep the house place clean and tidy. But all the day was not given to such work as this. Doggies in the book. I have both though. It's still so hot. How are you so hot still? It's been so long. Oh, my tea, it's still really hot. I put it in a thermos. I'm glad you can toot your own horn so well then. Yes, tea silly. All right. When Ulrich had returned, and they had dined together, he would bring the great carved wooden chair with the huge back up to the fire, and Elsa would fetch a stool to his side and busy herself with needle and thread, while he told her strange stories. Or sometimes he would fetch a ponderous volume from a library the house contained, and read either to himself or aloud to her such things as she could understand. Now, as you wonder where Elsa found the needle and thread, which I have mentioned, I must tell you that Ulrich had given her a little work basket neatly fitted, but the silk lining of which had much faded, and some of the needles were rusty. There was in it also a golden thimble, which Elsa found a little too large. And as for the clothes she worked at, one day he brought her a quantity of beautiful garments, some of silk and satin, and some of fine cloth, and in these, having nothing of her own, but her one poor little cotton frock, the child managed to dress herself, till she looked like a quaint little fairy princess. Her stitches were awkward and badly done at first, but as time went on, instinct helped her little knowledge, and she grew handy with her needle. When she was cooking and feeding the goats, she wore a woolen petticoat and an apron, a costume more suited to the occasion. In the evenings, Ulrich taught her many things, to read and to write, and even to speak in strange languages, so that her education was by no means neglected. He let her wander over the great mansion where she would, and showed her many of the rooms himself. All bore signs of having been used quite recently, and yet a long time ago. Dust was thick everywhere, and soon Elsa grew to understand that the dust must remain and accumulate. No hand was to be allowed to touch anything in that strange, silent house, beyond the hall and the little room which Ulrich had arranged for her sleeping apartment. One part of the mansion, however, she never penetrated. At the end of a long passage hung a heavy velvet curtain, and behind this was a door, always securely locked. Only Ulrich passed beyond it at stated times, and when he returned from these visits, he was more than usually sad for many hours. The weeks slipped into months, and Elsa dwelt on in this strange home. Every day at first, she looked eagerly for the breaking of the frost, for the promise of sunshine and flowers she had left behind in her little wood. But the spring never came. The bitter cold and the frost continued, and in time the child's heart must have frozen too, but for the strong, warm love which had sprung up within it for Ulrich. Old and thoughtful as she grew, beyond her years, but never unhappy, Ulrich needed her, and was glad of her presence. She could minister to his wants and brighten his sad life. So Ulrich's love grew more to her than the flowers and sunshine of the outer world. To think of leaving him now would break her heart, but she wondered often over the mystery that shadowed his life and hers. And the months grew to years, and Elsa was 12 years old. Then, one evening, Ulrich came in from one of his visits to the closed chambers, more sad and thoughtful even than usual, and taking Elsa's hand in his, bade her sit beside him for a little while and put aside her work. She came obediently, looking anxiously into his face. "Little Elsa," he said, "I have counted the time, and it is now 5 years since you came to me. You told me then you were 7 years old. Now you are 3, 4, 12, and will soon be growing into a maiden. The time has come." Instinctively, the child clasped her hands together. "Not for us to part, father," for so she had learned to call him. "That, my child, must rest with you." "Then it is soon settled," said Elsa, trying to laugh, "for I will never leave you." Something like the light of hope shone in the man's clouded eyes, eyes in which Elsa had never seen a smile, although his lips had smiled at her often. "Listen," he said. "Before you speak rash words, I must tell you all. Then you shall decide. It is a little more than 11... Oh, sorry. It is a little more than 11 years since the curse fell upon me. I was a hard man then, Elsa. Hard and cruel and strong. It was my boast that I never forgave a debt, or pardoned any enemy. I had married... I had married a young and beautiful wife, and her I loved passionately, but in my own hard and selfish fashion. I often refused to heed even her gentle pleadings for the suffering, the sinful, and the poor. And we had one child, a girl, then only a few months old. It was a New Year's Eve that I decided upon giving a great entertainment to all the country round. I did it for my own glorification. Among the rich I was disliked but tolerated on account of my position. By the poor far and wide I was feared and hated. Everyone invited came to my ball. My wife looked exquisitely lovely, more lovely I thought than on our bridal day. Everything ministered to my pride and satisfaction. We had mustered here in this hall, to drink the health of the dying year and welcome the incoming of the new, when above the sounds of laughter and good cheer were heard from without a pitiful feeble wail, the wail of a child in pain. That feeble cry rang then above every other sound. It rang in my heart still, or it rings in my heart still. Before I could interfere, my wife, with her own hands, had flung wide the great barred door, and saw a sight which I alone could explain. Upon the steps was huddled a woman with a child in her arms. A man gaunt and hunger-stricken towered behind her in the darkness. 2 other children clung to her, shivering and weeping. We were in the midst of the cruel, bitter winter. The earth was frost-bound, hard and cold, even as now. That day I had given orders that these people, poor and starving as they were, should be turned from their home. The man I had suspected of being a poacher, and he was doing no work, a good for nothing. But she, my wife, had pleaded for them that I would wait at least until the summer. Now she bent down to the poor creature on the steps, who was striving to nurse and warm her babe in her chill arms, and whispered something. I guess it was a promise of shelter. In my fierce pride and anger, I laid my hand upon her arm, and with a strong grip drew her back. Then, without a word, I closed the door and barred it. But within there was no more laughter. A voice rose upon the still night air, the sound of a bitter curse, a curse that should rest upon me and mine, the chill of winter and of death, of pitiless desolation and remorse, until human love should win me back to human pity and God's forgiveness. One by one, with cold good nights, my guests departed. My wife stole away to her own apartment without a word. Upon her arm I saw the mark of my cruel hand. In the morning the curse had fallen. The woman I had turned away had been found at my gates, dead, her child still clasped to her breast. The servants fled and left me alone, taking with them our child, my wife. That night, she too died to me. The man's head dropped upon his hands. For a moment, there was silence in the hall. Elsa stood, her child's heart grieved at the terrible story, her whole nature sorrowing, pitiful, shocked. Presently, Ulrich recovered himself and continued. Now, Elsa, you know all. My child, if you will return to the world and leave me to work out my fate, you shall not go penniless. I have wealth. For your sake, I will venture once more among the haunts of men and see you placed in a safe home. Then I will try to forget. It is right that you should shrink. Father, dear father, I love you. You are sorry. I will not leave you. Do not send me away. A look almost of rapture changed the worn and tear-stained face of the man who had owned his sin, and the child's arm closed once more around his neck, and her golden hair nestled to his breast. A few minutes later, he had led her to the closed chamber. Together they passed beyond it, and Elsa found herself standing in a richly furnished room. Near a window was a couch covered with dark velvet, and upon the couch a figure lay stretched as if in quiet, death-like sleep, carved in marble. The figure was that of a young and very fair woman. Her dress of white satin had yellowed with time. Her hands were clasped upon her breasts as though in prayer. Her golden hair lay unbound upon the pillow. It is fitting now, said Ulrich, that you should come here. Softly Elsa advanced. She stood beside the couch, gazing down upon the still white face, so sweet in its settled grief, but which, in this long silence, seemed to have lost its first youth. Elsa bent lower, lower. What new instinct filled her warm young heart and made her speak? Mother, awake, she said. Mother, and kissed the cold, quiet lips. Was it a ray of sunlight that stole through the open window and trembled upon the mouth, curving it into a smile? Slowly, the dark eyes opened and rested with a look of ineffable love upon Elsa's face. And so the curse and the shadows of eternal winter passed away from the house of Ulrich, and his young bride came back from her long slumber. In due time, the garden too awoke to the touch of spring, and the flowers bloomed, and the birds mated once more, and sang in budding trees, and the sun shone. And Elsa's love bound closely together the hearts of her father and mother. Or perhaps you have been clever enough to find out that the woodman's wife was the nurse who had carried away with her in her flight Ulrich's little daughter on the night of the New Year's ball. The end. All right, my dears. And we are almost to the top of our 3-hour mark. So I think for today, that is where we will end. I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. And I hope that tomorrow, I have to look and see what our schedule is going to be. But I will post it in our community post. And we'll be back here again tomorrow as well. So for now, I bid you adieu. I think tomorrow it'll probably be around 8 p.m. I think. I have to double check, but tomorrow at 8 p.m. I will post about it. So have a beautiful start to your week. Remember to take time for yourself, to just have a little bit of snuggly kindness in the middle of your day, to just close your eyes and give yourself a gentle hug and a bit of encouragement.
Bye-bye.
That
Nice
you can
stream.
do. Thank you, dear. That you can do everything that you have ahead of you. Okay? So, oyasumi. And sweet dreams. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. And thank you for spending time with me. Good night.